3 things I will no longer be doing in 2024, like they're staying in 2023. So one is responding to hate comments. I see people all the time saying to influencers, just ignore the hate. But it's really difficult when you have a huge following and you get thousands of comments a day. I've decided I don't want to waste my time on that anymore. I'm not going to be making any video responses to hate comments or responding to them in the comment section. So depending on the hate comment, I'm either going to ignore it, delete it, or block the person. Next is I'm done giving free promotion to companies that won't pay. Now this is going to be tricky because I don't want to be one of those influencers that gatekeep things from their audience. Just when you guys ask me like, where did I get this? What products did I use? Etc. I think I'm just not going to mention companies on my page at all that I've had communications with and have made it clear they don't want to pay. So this includes like several skincare and makeup companies, but I don't know how that's going to work for wig companies, but we'll figure it out. And last, I refuse to gain weight this year. I know I've recently lost 30 pounds, but I've always found whenever I lose weight, I always end up gaining it back. And so I'm not. I'm going to be consistently working out and eating healthy this year and making it a lifestyle. I just want 2024 to be a year where I'm more mature in my career and the things that I spend my time on. 3 huge mistakes I made as an influencer that still affect me to this day. So first is one that a lot of influencers make, which is undercharging. No one really talks about how much they charge, so it's hard to figure out your rates. So in 2022, I did a ton, like over 30 wig collabs. And at this point, I had 1 million followers on TikTok and I was only charging like $300 per collab. Because I didn't know and I missed out on thousands of dollars. Second is I made my niche too small. Like I see so many people asking for more vlog content, lifestyles, business, things like that. But because I've been known for like natural hair growth content for so long, I'm finding it really difficult to be able to do different things even though I really want to, because my audience just doesn't respond as well to other content as they do hair, which makes sense because they follow me for hair. And last, the first year I was on social media, I prioritized getting followers over building a community. And so I grew very quickly, but my engagement never matched my followers. And to this day, I still struggle to get a level of engagement that matches the size of platforms that I have because I'm still building my community. Learn from me and don't do that. This stylist cut all my waist length hair off. I've told the story before, but I'm telling it again because I'm still traumatized. So I booked this lady for a silk press. It took 6 hours, y'all. I get there, somebody's in a chair, but I immediately get my hair washed by her assistant. Terrible wash. There's still like gel all over my edges because I just took a wig off. Then she gets me in the chair. It takes her 3 hours to detangle my hair. I generally don't think I'm tender-headed, but literally my scalp was on fire. It was so painful. Then finally we get to the blow drying process. It felt like she never detangled my hair at all. She kept saying my ends were just bad and I had fairy knots. And eventually she was like, she usually waits to the end to trim the hair after the silk press, but she feels like she should go ahead and just trim some parts during the blow dry process to make it easier for both of us. And I was like, okay, sure, whatever. At this point, I was over it. I should have got up and left, but I didn't. Then she goes to straighten my hair. My hair is still super tangled. She has to do one pass all over my hair on super low heat to get it straightened up to completely detangle it. And then she finishes the silk press and it didn't even last more than like 3 days. When she was trimming, like the final trim, she was cutting way too close to my shoulder. And I eventually realized she cut like 6 to 8 inches off of my hair. And this is why I don't trust any hairstylist. Story time about how I started to hate my natural hair. So when I was younger, I got my first relaxer at 9. Even though I have a younger sister, I was the only one to get relaxers because her hair was like type 3, which is exactly like my dad's. I got like a weird combination of both my parents' hair types. And so because of that, my hair is always dry and damaged, especially in high school when like girls are the most insecure. And I even got bullied in high school on my dance team because my hair was not like all the other girls. And then I eventually went natural when I was like 16, 17. And then you would think this is where I'd start to love my hair, but I was like so delulu. Like because my sister's hair had that type 3 texture, I was like trying to force myself to believe I had the same hair type. And I quickly realized, no girl, you got thick type 4 coily hair. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But now after being natural for 6 years, I have definitely come to love my natural hair even though it still has its struggles. And it's kind of ironic now because I love my hair, but most people think I hate it now because I never wear it out. But my natural hair knows what she does, so that's why she's always up, so... Here are 3 crazy things that happened to me in 2023 to cap off the year. So first is moving to Atlanta. I'm actually still shocked that I did this because I'm someone that does not like to leave their comfort zone. Even though at first it was kind of uncomfortable being in a new state, by myself, completely new environment, I absolutely love it here and it's one of the best decisions I've ever made. Second is I lost 30 pounds. I've been struggling for over a year to lose weight and I don't know what happened the past couple months, but I finally got it together. In August, I did a 2-week juice cleanse and then from that point on, I started eating healthy and going to the gym consistently. And I'm so close to my body goals. I'm super excited to hit them in 2024. And last is the huge change I made with my business A Natural Rose this year. I finally made the switch from making my products by myself and packaging orders and not being able to keep up with things and always being sold out to getting my products professionally manufactured. That way I can have thousands in inventory and barely go out of stock. And having a team that can help me package and ship thousands of orders. So yeah, 2023 has been really great for your girl. God has really blessed me and I'm super excited to see what he's gonna do in 2024.
was booked for makeup, but I ended up at a graveyard. Story time. While I was asleep at about 02 a.m., I received a phone call, but then I'm just right out of my sleep. I choose to ignore it because who's calling me at 02? When I wake up in the morning, the first thing I think of is calling back the number that was calling me that late at night, or should I say that early in the morning? When I call back this number, a lady, let's call her Rose, picks up the phone. So she tells me, "Hi, I was calling you last night. I was trying to book for a makeup appointment." So I tell her, "Oh no, sorry, you called too late." So she tells me, "Sorry, I called that late because my makeup artist disappointed me and my event is tomorrow." So meaning the next day from the time that we were on this call. "Sorry to call you that late, but my makeup artist disappointed me. So I was wondering if you could come and do the makeup. So I wanted to know in advance." So while on this call, I noticed there's a lot of noise in the background. It sounds like gibberish. Some of it sounds like some tribes that I can recognize, but most of it is gibberish. So I just ignore it, saying, she's just in a noisy place and I probably can't hear what's going on in the back. So we agreed to say I can take up the appointment because I was free that day. This appointment was during the week because it was for her party. She was throwing a welcome party for her best friend, according to what she told me. So we agreed that I'm going to come for this appointment, and she tells me since the appointment is the next day, let me just pay in advance. Otherwise, my policy was that she was supposed to pay only a certain percentage of the booking, which was like 100 kwacha. But she insists that since the event is tomorrow and she's going to be busy, she would rather pay it in advance. So she pays the full price for a booking of 7 people, about 350 for each person. While I was still on this call, she asked me to confirm if I have received the money, and yes, I have. She has sent me a 2,450. And I check, and of course, my balance has increased from the previous that it was before this transaction and after now. So I confirm, and her booking is set for the next day. Immediately after she confirms her booking, she also sends me the location. I check it out on my Google Maps, and it says I'm 20 minutes away from where she is. Because it was a group of 7 people, I was supposed to go there with my PA. We agreed that we'd leave our homes at 4:30. I was supposed to pick up my PA at about 4:20, around that time. The estimation was that at 4:30 we would start off. Sending me her location on WhatsApp is the last conversation that we have. So we start waiting for tomorrow. So tomorrow is going to be a book day. The only reason why I took this emergency booking, because it was during the week. So I rarely have bookings during the week. So obviously I had availability. When I received the notification on my WhatsApp of her location, I like to save my clients' names so that they can see my status just in case they would like to book me again. I go to my WhatsApp to try and save her number, but there's no name. There are only emojis like where her name would be. So I save her by the name that appeared on the transaction that she sent me. I also noticed that there's no DP on her number, so I just assumed she didn't save my number. At 20, another girl texts me on WhatsApp. So she's telling me, "Hi, this is Rose's friend, also part of the booking that you're coming for tomorrow. Please, this is just a message to remind you that this booking is urgent and please do show up. Our last makeup artist just cancelled on us." In other words, she was sending me a reminder that the booking is on. Tried to save her number as well, and there's no name and there's no DP. So I assume they just didn't put names or something. I think I just see emojis where their names would be on WhatsApp. I respond to her on my WhatsApp. I say, "Oh, okay, no problem. We'll be there at 4:30 in the morning." A few minutes after the message from Rose's friend, the one who was calling to confirm, or rather texting to confirm the booking, I receive another text on WhatsApp. She introduces herself as Rose's friend as well. She tells me, "Sorry, we forgot to send you money for transportation cost. We'll pay that when you get here." So I say, "Oh yeah, that's actually my policy. You pay for transport once I'm done with my work." And I had sent my policy to Rose, so I assumed she knew, and that's why she didn't send me my transport. Not that she forgot. I ran my assistant through all these details for tomorrow's booking, and I emphasized to her that please don't be late. Going to meet tomorrow. I tell her I'm going to pick her up in the morning. Immediately I wake up in the morning, I look at my time and I'm already running late. So I choose not to call my assistant because I'm embarrassed, thinking I'm the one who was emphasizing that we need to go early. In no time, I'm done dressing up and I call my assistant to let her know I'm about to start off. So she informs me to say she's very sick, and from the tone of her voice, I can tell she's sick because my PA is not one to skip days of work or anything like that. So if she says she's sick, she's probably sick. She tells me she's sick and she can't make it today. So at this point, I'm racing with time because I'm already running late. It's a group of 7 people and my PA is down. I'm thinking, will I manage this booking or do I have to cancel it altogether? But then it's 4 in the morning. I can't cancel at this time. And I don't think it's ethical to call my client at this time and cancel on her last minute. I tell myself I'll do whatever it takes and I'll make it for this appointment. When I start off, it's still pitch black outside, but I tell myself I have to do what I have to do. These guys paid and they paid in full, and also their previous makeup artist had already disappointed them. It was too late for me to cancel. I start driving. Ideally, for bookings that are this early, I don't go alone. I go with my PA, but on this fateful day, my PA was very sick, even just from the way her voice sounded. So I start going, and when I turn on my Google Maps, my ETA is like 20 minutes. So I know the place is not too far from where I live. Surprisingly, I'm very calm about the situation, despite my PA being sick and knowing that these people are a lot. But at this point, I've been doing this for a while, and I know I'm going to manage the appointment. If you're interested in makeup, you want to learn, or you want to book a makeup artist, my number is in the bio. You can text me there and we can talk. I have a promo class for 1.5 instead of 2.5. The number is also displayed on the screen. As I'm getting there, I notice it's pitch black. At 4, mostly the sun is starting to rise, but this time it's around June, so I know probably it's because of the cold weather. Maybe that's why it looks this dark. From the time I started doing makeup, this is the first time that I'm moving alone that early in the morning. My ETA said I was 20 minutes away, but then it feels like I've been driving for way more than 20 minutes at this point. I'm still following my Google Maps, and then I'm heading towards, I think I'm along Lake Road. Yeah, I think it's called Lake Road, or is it in Palms Road? Yeah, I was along that road. So I'm still driving, just following my Google Maps. They told me they were staying at an apartment, so this is where I was trying to go to. I hear my Google Maps say rerouting, meaning I have either missed a turn or I'm going the wrong way. Sorry, but you have to go to part 2. I tried to look around if there's a turn that I have missed or I'm going the wrong way. The direction says, like when I look at the map, it says I'm on the right track, but then my Google Maps is saying rerouting and then it's trying to find like another road. So I chose to just look around if there's a turn or anything, and then I see tombstones. I get very, very frightened. I've never been here. It was just confusing, like how did I find myself here? I was extremely scared. So when I realized I'm in a graveyard, I choose to turn back and go the other way. So as I'm trying to make a U-turn in the road that I was in, because now I had left the tarmac and I was in what seemed like a gravel road. So I tried to make a U-turn and turn back to where I was coming from. My car suddenly just goes off. I tried to look at where I'm coming from. I can't see. So I'm struggling with my car at this point, and quickly I realized that I can either leave my car and have my brothers pick it up in the morning. Let me use a Yango. So I tried to book a Yango and I have no internet. No internet, all the bars are down. I can't call anyone, I can't text, I can't send any messages, nothing is going through. Everything is shut down, including my car. I had to look at the time because what time is this happening? When I look at the time on my phone, it's telling me it's around 01 in the morning. It starts to confuse me, and at this point, I suspect something weird and suspicious is probably going on. How is it 01? I had called my assistant before starting off, and she confirmed to me that she wasn't feeling well. When I was calling her, I was even running late. It was at 04. How is the time going backwards at this point? It's not making sense. It's starting to scare me. I can't reach anyone. I managed to convince myself to calm down because I'm panicking. I think I'm not thinking right. I tried to turn on my car again. My Google Maps is off. It keeps saying turn right, turn left. Like, it's just going in circles. It's not saying anything sensible. There's no right turn, there's no left turn where I am. So I tell myself to just calm down a bit and try to call the people that booked me. Maybe I'm close by. My Google Maps just misbehaved. You know how sometimes your Google Maps can give you a wrong direction because maybe the network had gone off at some point. So maybe it doesn't record that you've made that move. That's just what I was assuming at this point. I was hoping my Google Maps had just, I don't know, misbehaved because maybe I lost internet at some point. So I start going through my conversations because remember, I had talked to her on WhatsApp, the first girl who booked me, Rose. So I start looking for her number in my conversations, and the creepiest thing is that I can't find our conversation. Firstly, the location I was following was from that conversation. I just clicked on the link, for the location, and that's what I had been following this whole time. I tried to check my phone. The link is not there. The conversation is nowhere to be seen. I'm thinking I'm just panicking. So I tell myself, quickly, let me look for the other girl's number. I start debating with myself. I'm telling myself, maybe I checked the wrong WhatsApp because I have a WhatsApp business and a normal WhatsApp. So I'm telling myself, maybe I checked the wrong WhatsApp. But before I can start going back to my normal WhatsApp, I convinced myself to check the other girl's conversation. Second girl who texted me. So I check her conversation. I'm looking for it. I kid you not, I can't find this conversation. I quickly go to the third girl. I also can't find her conversation. These girls texted me at night. So they were almost the last people who texted me. So they were supposed to be at the top of my chat. I scroll, and at this point, I've been scrolling to chats that are like yesterday, the previous days, and all that. I still can't find their chats. I can't find anything. So quickly I realized, oh, she sent me money. Let me go to my mobile money. I check my mobile money to check the number that sent you money. Tell me why I can't find the message that I received this money. Tell me why I can't find the message that I received this money. So I'm thinking, like, am I just being dumb at this point? What's going on? These guys booked me. I checked my balance. My balance had increased. I saw the message. I talked to them. I even talked to one on the phone. So I'm wondering, like, what happened in this short time? Has the time gone backwards? I quickly tried to call my mom. Mom's phone is not reachable. I have no connectivity at this point. I can't talk to anyone. All my phones are just down. No network. I try every network. I have all SIM cards. I have my MTN, I have my Zamtel, I have my Airtel. For those not in Zambia, these are the service providers that we have in Zambia. I try all of them. Nothing is going through. I try my car again. Like, it's a push to start. So I try to press my brake and push the button. Finally, somehow, it starts. I turn back and start heading home. Immediately I get home, I tell myself, okay, calm down before I tell my mother, because I know if I tell this to my mom, she'll probably tell me to stop going for all these appointments. So I tell myself, okay, cool, calm down, we are home now. It was like at 6. So what happened to the time when I was at the graveyard? I don't understand. Maybe the time was shape-shifting. I don't understand what happened to the time. So at this point, it's 6 in the morning when I get home. I try to check my phone. First thing I check is my Airtel money balance. And my Airtel money balance has gone back to the balance it was at before that girl sent money. I don't have her message, her Airtel money message on my phone. I'm checking very calmly. I know I'm panicking still because what happened was weird, but I'm checking very calmly. I don't have her message from Airtel money. I check our conversations on WhatsApp. It's not coming. I check the other girls' conversations. I don't have them. All 3 girls, I don't have their conversations. Nothing. This is very weird. I've never experienced this. I call my mom. I tell her everything and she suggests that we go to church. Immediately we go to church, we talk to the pastor and he suggests that we pray. From that time, these girls have never texted me, called me. I have never heard anything from them. No one reached out to me saying I didn't show up for the appointment. It was quiet. Guys, this is the most creepy thing. Those people who move at night, has anything like this happened to you before? Where you're moving, it looks like you've been moving for more than 20 minutes, but you're in the same vicinity that you would have been at if you had moved for 20 minutes. And also, have you ever found yourself at a graveyard unexpectedly? Has it also ever happened to you that you talked to someone, you tried to look for their cause, everything, messages, nothing is there? So now it starts to click that maybe the sounds I was hearing were probably ghosts having a conversation. The time that she called me when I was saying I was hearing some noises and it sounded like gibberish. Tell me in the comment section. By the way, this is not my story. I write my disclaimer always on all my stories. Most of these stories are not my stories. Please read the disclaimer. If you're interested in learning makeup or you're looking for a makeup artist or hairstylist in Lusaka, please call me. My number is in the bio. I'll also leave it up here. Please let me know. I have a promo class running. Instead of 2,000, you're going to be paying 1,500. And this is a very extensive class for 5 days. 2 hours each day. If you have stories that you want me to tell, send your stories. Love you. Bye.
Hi. So I'm going to a party. And I want to look good. Okay? I want to be the baddest bitch in the party. So we're going to do a full beat. Yeah. I did my brows already. I even like carved them out. Like I haven't done that in a long time. I haven't done a full beat in a long time, like with full coverage foundation and concealer and contouring. I've just been so used to my like natural makeup routine. For foundation, I'm gonna bust out the Fenty. I think this is discontinued, so I'm very sorry. But this is the Hydrating Pro Filter Foundation. And, oh wait, espérate un momento. I do want to prime. I don't usually prime, but I'm gonna prime today. I want to use, well, do I? Okay, I'm gonna use the e.l.f. This one, mainly on my nose, because that's where my makeup tends to like break up a little bit. So I'm gonna focus this, like especially right here. That's where it like breaks up. Yeah. Now for the rest of my face, I'm gonna use the Ciate London Dewy Skin. I had something in my hand. And sometimes I even like wearing this primer like by itself with no makeup on, because it just gives a nice glow to the skin. My face is red because I decided to exfoliate my face today. I'm gonna let that sit for a second, but I'm gonna mix my foundation with this blue like mixing thingy, because yes, this is like my shade, but it's like orange basically. And then I'm gonna put like one pump. Okay, one pump. Mix it up. How mad is she? Ooh. Low key. I might need another pump of the blue. Yeah. I'm kind of scared. It's still like really orange. All right, let's do like a little. No. Well, no. All right, we're just gonna have to use the Clinique, because I think this is the only one that really matches my color right now. The other one was just too orange. Yeah. Blend that out. Okay, and then I got me a new concealer. This is the e.l.f. Camo Concealer, the hydrating one in medium neutral. I wanted a really brightening concealer, and I really like this formula because it's fine. It's bright, but that's what I wanted, right? Oh my god, I like almost forgot to contour. I'm gonna use the Fenty contour stick while that's sitting. I haven't contoured in a long time. I usually don't. Let's see if that's good enough. I don't even know what brush to use. I don't contour. I don't know if I like this one. We're just gonna use it. We're just gonna keep going. This concealer is bright, but it looks good. And I think I'm gonna bring it to the top of my eyelids to be a base for like eyeshadow or something. Oh my god, that took forever to blend, but I'm going to set my face with the Maybelline Fit Me now. I feel like I have a hair stuck in my eye somewhere. Now I want to like brighten it, so I'm gonna go in with the One Size powder, and I took too much out, but I don't want to jinx myself, but the last couple days my eye has been watering, like this one specifically, every freaking day, and today it's not. And I don't know if it's because I used a different concealer today or what it is, but And we're gonna go in orange or purple. Purple, yeah. Oh my god. This is why I did not wear a liquid blush underneath it, because this one does not need any extra help with the pigmentation. It does not. Personally, I like to do my bronzer after my blush. Don't know why. I feel like it looks better when I do it that way. I don't contour my nose. I just like roughly go down the sides with my bronzer. Yeah. A bit of highlighter just on the tip of my nose. And because I don't want this video to be 3 hours long, I don't want to hold you hostage. In the next video, I'm going to do my eyes and my lips and that's it. Okay? But this is what we're looking like so far. I know it's 2024 and there's no need to be doing a part 2 to anything, but the video was already long. So at least I did my full face in one video. So we're going to do the eyes and the lips today. Okay? Is that okay? You have no choice. I'm going to go ahead and like blend out the concealer I dragged on top and then set it with the one size powder. Lovely. I did not set my face at all in the last video, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and I'm gonna use the one size until dawn. Jesus. I did too much. Now my eyes are watering. I was doing so good. Please. All right, I'm gonna fix that little issue later. But we're gonna use the Fenty eyeshadow thingy-mabob, and I always have trouble opening this. Thank you. I don't want to do anything too bold with the eyes. I'm gonna go with this light brown, like as a transition color. And I don't want to do anything too bold because I'm not going to wear lashes. I haven't worn lashes in, oh my god, over a year at this point. And I don't want to do it today. I feel like every time I go out with lashes, like, I'm so much more aware that I'm wearing makeup because I'm like, is my lash falling off? Can people tell that my lash is falling off? Like, I don't feel like dealing with that today. I'm going to go in with a little more tapered brush now and go in with that purple. And, oh, I forgot that this stupid thingy has a mirror. I've been back there. All right, I'm going to focus that, like, on the outer part. And basically what I'm going to do is, like, a half-cut crease situation. But because these colors are, like, muted and I'm not going to, you know, cut it with concealer or anything like that, it'll be fine that I'm only wearing mascara. Now, the next question is, do I want to put a matte or a shimmer on my eyelids? Okay, I'm gonna do kind of like a matte-ish type of thingy. I'm using the Crown's Pro palette, and I'm gonna use this cream color. It's not a shimmer, but it's not necessarily a matte either. It's like a satin finish, if that makes sense. And I'm gonna put that like right here. Oh my god, I keep hiccuping. Okay, and then with my brush, no extra product, but want to diffuse those ends because I don't want it to be like, oh, 1 color, 2 color, 3 color, you know? This is what the shadow is looking like now. Not gonna do any eyeliner. Well, no, I'm not gonna do any eyeliner because I'm only gonna wear mascara. And then we'll do the bottom later after I like finish that little issue right there. Now it's mascara time. Where's my eyelash curler? Yeah. I'm gonna take the brown and ever so slightly put that underneath my eye, just so that there's something under there. brown mascara for... I cut it off. Brown mascara for the bottom lashes. It's not as boom as the black, but this formula still makes them like really long and stuff. I can't find my dark brown lip liner, but we're gonna use this one from NYX. I don't know why. Oh, this is the color Cold Brew. Yeah, Cold Brew. Then the NYX Fat Oil Lip Thingy in the shade, link in my bio. I can't find my lip liner, so I'm gonna use this eye crayon. Because I feel like that's the only thing that's making it look weird. Would you like? I think it's that.
In case you're wondering why we chose to stay, we didn't have transport money to get back where we came from. This place was far, as earlier mentioned. So we almost had no option but to wait for her to return so that she could pay us. Because at this point, she was supposed to pay whether we did the service or not, because we showed up and that's what the policy says. At least my policy said that as the hairdresser and the makeup artist. So she was supposed to pay for that so that this could cater for our transport. So at 11 when the bride shows up, to my greatest surprise, her hair is done, the same hairstyle that she requested from me. Her nails are done. The nail tech at this point is also shocked. We're in awe of what's going on. Like, you'd literally responded to say you'll be here, and she knew that the nail tech was here. She knew that I was there to attend to her hair and her makeup, but she comes with all these things done. So we're just shocked at this point. So the nail tech tells her that he would like to start off. He's got other clients because clearly there's nothing he's going to do here. He reminds her of his policy, saying because she showed up, she'll need to pay the full price because she's there already. If she had cancelled earlier, she should have said, so that all she would have forfeited is her booking deposit. But since she didn't mention to him, he wanted to leave and he needed his money. So as he was saying this, an elderly lady who needed her outside for her ceremony came in. So she requested to say, no, give me a minute. She told the nail tech, give me a minute, I'll be back. After she went to do some stuff outside, I think part of the traditional things, she came back in. So when she came back in, she just told me, no, I managed to do my hair. You can just do my makeup. Like, it was just passive, like as if there's nothing wrong. So in my head, I'm just like, I thought you booked for both. So I choose to calm down first, and then I tell her, you told me you were going to book for both makeup and hair. So because I'm already here, I would have booked with someone else, but because I'm already here, you have to pay for both. So she doesn't respond to this. And then she tells me, okay, can we just get started on the makeup? So I start with the belief that she has understood what me and the nail tech have said. So I'm doing her makeup and the nail tech is waiting for him to be paid. And since we know each other, the agreement was that we were going to leave at the same time. So I'm doing her makeup. This is a stressful appointment because everyone is waiting on her. All the elderly people are very, very upset. Like, I'm literally feeling bad for her because people are shouting at her. The Wanachimbusas are on her case. Like, it's bad. So I'm trying to hurry. In no time, I get her beat done. And from what she says, she likes it. And her reaction, she liked it, but we're too busy to even focus on that. I didn't even mention. I made my bride cry because she hated her makeup. Then she boosted my business by giving me a 10,000 story time. So just a disclaimer. I've been putting my disclaimer in writing under my videos, or rather on my videos, but most people haven't been seeing them. So I will just be saying them because most people are assuming that these are my stories. Some are my stories, some are not my stories. So disclaimer, this is not my story. So this bride booked me early on in my journey as a makeup artist, just when I was starting. So I wouldn't even say I was starting at that time because I was still learning and just doing makeup on myself, basically. And maybe a few family members who will see you doing makeup maybe at an event, maybe when you have a family wedding, and they'll say, oh, please do mine. But not any paying clients. Of course, some of my good relatives would pay me when I do their makeup rather, but it wasn't a business just yet. So at one of the weddings that I had done, one of my family members' makeup, this bride liked the makeup. So she asked that relative of mine to give her my contact. So she gave her my contact and reached out. So she told me her wedding is coming up and she would like me to do her makeup. So she was only booking me for her alone. So this was a one-person booking. No one else was involved in this appointment, just her. Her bridesmaids had their own makeup artist. So I was assigned to just work on the bride. I was so nervous. Because I was still new, I didn't even know how much to charge her. I was still very, very new. So I felt anyway, a 150 is okay. So she said, oh, okay, 150 is fine. She was a very good lady. Let me mention that she was extremely good to me. So she said 150 is fine. I didn't charge for transport or anything. I don't know why, but she said she'll have someone pick me up after she noticed I didn't charge for transport. So she also knew that I was an amateur in this industry. So she was being very nice and sweet to me. So she actually said, no, you're supposed to be charging for transport, but since you didn't charge, your place is near where my driver lives, so I'll have him pick you up on the day of the appointment. So I was like, oh, okay, thank you. And that's how we went about it. I started waiting for the day of the appointment. So the day of the appointment comes, I show up at the location. I'm picked up by the driver, just like she mentioned. This was a very early appointment. When I get there, there's another makeup artist working on the bridesmaids that she had, just like she had said earlier, and this is what I found. I greeted the other makeup artist. She said hi to me. She was an elderly lady, like you could tell, you know, those makeup artists that have been doing their work for a long time, and she was very good at her craft. So we said hi, and when I just entered, remember, I was still very new in this whole thing. So I didn't have a train case, like the thing where you pack your makeup and everything, or a makeup case, others would call it. I didn't have that. My products were still very basic, like nothing high end. So I basically don't have anything high end. I don't even have a makeup chair. I'm still very new at this. So when I get there, I get very intimidated by the other makeup artist's craft, her tools. She had everything fancy. She had a ring light, she had a chair, she had a train case, she had high-end products, and her craft was really good. She had so many brushes, and I just had the bare minimum. And worst case scenario is I was the one working on the bride. So since she got there earlier than me, the other bridesmaids that she had already finished with their makeup. So I could see how they were looking, and I could tell my craft was nothing close to that. I couldn't compare. So I became very intimidated, like just as a natural response. Not that she was being mean to me or anything, but I just became very insecure with my craft. I was wondering if I would do the best. And obviously, the bride is the star of the show, so she has to look better than everyone else. So I set up, my things are packed in a backpack. I set them up. I just put them on a table. I don't have a chair, no ring light. So we sit by a window. She sits on a dining chair that was there in the location we're doing the makeup. And I start my makeup. So the bride is very sweet, like I mentioned earlier. I start with the makeup. The appointment is going well, but I'm extremely slow because I'm trying to be as perfect as possible, and the whole time I'm comparing my work to the other makeup artist. Since I was still very much an amateur, when the bride booked me, I asked her to send me a picture of her face without a filter so that I could find the best foundation for her. So even as an amateur, I knew foundation is one of the main things. So I made sure I had the correct foundation for her. I got a very good foundation. It wasn't too high end, but it wasn't on the lower side of things. It was okay. It was a good brand. I got foundation, and that's all I had that was very good. Thank goodness for the bride. She had no issue sending me her picture because I was scared of alarming her and maybe losing a potential client, but she was very nice. She sent the picture and I managed to get her foundation right. I had a good foundation. So that's the only thing that's keeping me alive in this appointment right now. I start with the makeup. The bride is busy, phone calls and everything. So she's not seeing what I'm doing, and there's no mirror. I was sitting by a window. So the whole time I keep constantly looking back to what the other makeup artist is doing, because she is so good. Like, for an amateur, anyone who's above the level of your craft will seem like a very good makeup artist. So I'm trying to see, like, maybe if there's something she's doing that I don't know, so that I can also do it on the bride, because I love how the makeup for the bridesmaids is looking, and the bride is also saying, oh yeah, really good. She's talking to the other makeup artist, because obviously she can't compliment me. I'm not yet done with what I'm doing. So it takes me so long to finish the bride's makeup. I think the other makeup artist gets to like bridesmaid number 4, and I was still doing the bride's makeup. I found her, I think, doing bridesmaid number 2, but I was still doing the bride's makeup. I was very slow because I'm new. Like, I want to be perfect. I don't have a chair, so I'm going really slow. And the whole time, I'm comparing myself. At this point, I'm almost done with the bride's makeup. The other makeup artist is on the 4th, concluding. So she notices as I'm almost done, I think I put lipstick and everything, you know, those final touches, and I'm about to give the bride her mirror. So she says, oh no, you can use my setting spray. Set her face so that it will last longer. So I actually appreciate her so much for this, because I didn't even have setting spray. So I appreciate her so much for this. She sprays the setting spray on, and then finally I give the mirror to the bride so that she can see herself. And her reaction is not what I'm expecting. She starts to cry. So the naive girl in me is thinking, oh, she likes her makeup that much that she's crying because it looks so good. Because she's like, you know, that type of a reaction. And at this point, I've seen videos, because I'm watching a lot of videos to learn about how to do makeup. So I've seen a lot of videos where someone is giving the mirror and they cry. So in my head, I'm like, oh, she probably likes her makeup so much that she's crying. So a few minutes late, like maybe not minutes, a few seconds later, she tells me, as the bride, I'm supposed to look the best, like better than everyone else. And I'm sorry, love, but she was very nice. I'm sorry, love, but I don't really like this. I know you're still learning, but this is for my big day. I can't go out with a face looking like this. So she compliments me on the few things that I've done right. Like, she tells me I love the lipstick, I love the eyebrows, but the other things are just not sitting right. Like, I didn't know how to contour correctly, I didn't know how to highlight. So she doesn't do makeup, but she just says certain things I don't really like. I can't place a finger on what it is, but there are things that I don't really like. So I'm just like, oh, I'm sorry. And then the other makeup artist chips in, because she's hearing our conversation. She's also done with her appointment at this point. So she chips in and says, oh no, I can correct the makeup for you. I'm sure she's still learning, but she's getting good at her craft. You have to go to part 2. My celebrity bride stood everyone up during her Chilangamlilo story time. It's a Monday morning. On the days that I usually do my bookings, I receive a message from a bride, and she introduces herself by her Facebook famous name. So immediately I'm able to recognize her from her name. I know who I'm talking to. I know who I'm dealing with. This is the first time me and her ever communicating. I'm actually happy she's found my business, because I'm a fairly small business. I'm not well known here in Zambia. This booking is quite quick and pleasant. She just gets in touch. She tells me what she wants. She sends me her inspo. She tells me, do you think you can manage this? So she books me for hair and makeup. She sends me an inspo for both. We agree that I can manage the work. She confirms her booking by paying a deposit, which is non-refundable, which is fairly easy to deal with. She pays her deposit in no time. I receive my notification, and her booking is set. It's set for Saturday, the day of her Chilangamlilo. So she comes back a few hours later. She tells me, I found that my nail tech is booked for the day that I would like to do my nails. Would you happen to know anyone that you can come with the day of my Chilangamlilo and have my nails done? Because I want everything to be done in one place to save on time. So I tell her I don't know anyone, but I have a friend who does nails. So let me try and contact him to see if he's got an available booking for that date. I ask my friend, the nail tech. He confirms that he's got an available slot, and I tell him the celebrity that we're going to be working with. Yeah, just so that he has his game up there. So I tell him everything. We agree on the time we're going to go to her place, and everything is set. So I let her know I have a nail tech friend who can come and do her nails the day of at the place of the Chilangamlilo, where the Chilangamlilo will be taking place. By the way, this foundation is beautiful. Thank you, Swek. My foundation is from Swek, for those who might want to ask. So we agree that he's going to come, and I give her his line. She sends over her deposit to secure the slot. Just like that, this booking is done. We're confirmed. We're going to be working on this bride for her Chilangamlilo. So I'm booked for makeup and hair, just to clarify. My friend is booked for nails. So everything is going to be happening the day of. Everything is easy peasy. We're waiting for the day of the appointment. This appointment was set for 8 hours. So 8 hours is the time that the bride is supposed to be ready and she's supposed to start cooking. So just in case I have some non-Zambian viewers, so a Chilangamlilo is basically an event in Zambia where a bride is required to prepare different meals that her family and her tribe usually eat. Like what the husband should expect to eat once they are married, like what meals she can prepare in the home. I think that's what it is. I've never had a Chilangamlilo, but those who know more information, please correct us in case I'm wrong. So this booking was quite far from my place and now takes place. So our transportation costs were supposed to be paid after our appointment when we're done with everything. So I had my own transport cost and the Neotech had his own transport cost because we don't work together or not from the same location. So the bride agreed to this during our consultation and she said that's fine with her. She was going to pay. So if you want to book me for hair, makeup, or lessons, I'll leave my number somewhere there and my page name as well, so that you can check out my work on Facebook and Instagram. Saturday comes, it's finally the day of the Chilangamlilo. In the morning, I text the bride to ask for her location. She sends her location. I also forward it to the Neotech so that we're both on time and on track. We're moving at the same pace. So the Neotech lets me know that he's starting off. At this point, I'm also on my way. I'm on my angle. Upon getting there, I ask for where I can find the bride. I ask the people around. There are a lot of people gathered at this point. People want to start cooking. People are drumming. Just a typical Chilangamlilo day. So I ask around where I can find the bride, and then her cousin, as she introduces herself, tells me to go inside and that the bride will be there soon. She had gone to run an errand, she tells me. So for her Chilangamlilo day, from the Chilangamlilos I've seen, it was a bit weird that she had an errand to run, but these events are stressful, so maybe there was something that she had to grab last minute. So I tell her, oh, okay, I can wait. A few minutes later, the Neotech arrives as well. So he asks where the bride is. I inform him, just like I have been informed, that she'll be getting here soon. She had gone to pick up something. This is roughly 5 to 6 in the morning. Because remember, the bride is supposed to be ready at 8. So we needed to leave good time to get everything done. Because she was doing her hair, nails, and makeup. So the game plan was, as I'm doing the hair and makeup, the nail tech will be doing her nails as well. I noticed it's almost 6:30. It's been like 30 minutes roughly from the time we got here. And the bride is not yet here. So I chose to call her myself because she's delaying, and obviously it's a Saturday. There are other appointments waiting. And the nail tech is also worried at this point. Like, where is this person that we're working on? He also has a shop that he needs to open. Time is running. We chose to call the bride. She tells us to wait for 10 to 15 minutes and that she'll be there. So we say, okay, that's not too bad. We choose to wait. At this point, we are already at the location. It's so far. We can't bail out at this point. We need transport money. We need our time catered for. It's been so long. We've been waiting for her. So we're forced to just wait to get our payments and go. So at this point, it's been more than 30 minutes from the time the bride said she was coming. So I choose to call because it's now delaying my other appointments because I don't think we'll be able to finish before 8. So I start calling her again, and this time all my calls went unanswered. I sent messages, there's no one to respond to me. I tried to ask around the house who she was with, but no one gave me proper information on who else we could contact. We also asked other people to help us contact her on our behalf, but they also said they don't know where she is. At this point, tempers are rising. The Wanachimbusas, who are the ladies who guide the new bride into marriage, they're also getting pissed off because I think she's supposed to perform some rites and passages or whatever it's called, some traditions at the Chilangamlilo. She's supposed to be cooking or something, and she's not there. So people's tempers are rising. We are also getting pissed off because time. Just to fill in the gaps of those who don't know how a Chilangamlilo goes. So This food that she's going to present to her soon-to-be husband is cooked at her place, the bride's place. I assume if she lives with her parents, probably it's going to be cooked there. Then it's taken to the groom's place, where he's going to be living or where he lives, something like that. But so the bride is supposed to be actively involved in this cooking. She's going to be preparing these meals for her husband. So when people notice the bride is not there, everyone is panicking, people are upset. At this point, it's been 2 hours from the time that the bride said she's going to get here. It's 8:30 something, I think, or close to 9. So we choose to call again. This time she's not picking, nothing. She's not picking, she's not getting back to us. She's not responding to anyone, not even the people that are expecting her, like other elderly people at the Chilangamdilo. She's not responding to anyone. She shows up at about 11. She misses all the things that she's supposed to cook because people have to take this food to the groom at 14. So they just choose to proceed, but everyone is super, super vexed. So she misses that. She shows up at 11. So when she shows up, I'm sorry, but you have to go to part 2. Welcome back to part 2 of the worst celebrity client I've ever had after doing makeup and hair for more than 3 years. So I don't know if she just didn't get it that she was 3 hours late, but then according to her, she wasn't very late. I should have waited longer. And also she decided not to get back because I had told her I was already going for the graduation. Bear in mind, I said this at 11. That's like 2 hours, 2 from the time that we had agreed to meet. I had to attend it, and that's what we had agreed initially. I told her I would be busy at some point because I had to attend my sister's graduation photo shoot. So that passes. She says, no, it's fine. I apologized again. I was like, I'm sorry if that offended you, but I thought that was my last resort. I wouldn't have done it if you had picked your phone. I didn't want to just not show up on the day of your event. So she's like, okay, fine. Let me pick you up now so that we go to my place and do the bridesmaids' hair. Her bridesmaids had an appointment with me at 14. At 18, I was supposed to have another client. So I couldn't leave home, and that was not the agreement. So I told her, I can't follow you, but you have to follow me. And the only reason why I still gave them chances because at some point, my client that was scheduled for 18 said she was running late and if I could give her some more time. So I told her she had an emergency actually. So I told her, no, it's fine, I'll wait. So I wanted to use that time to work on her bridesmaids. She tells me, okay, she's just in heavy traffic, she'll bring them. They're about to start off from town, coming to my place. I live in Nibala. So they told me they would be there, they were just in some traffic. So for me, traffic in Osaka, I thought of it like maybe like an hour max because she was near, I think she was near is it Kafua roundabout? Yeah. So I thought an hour, 30 minutes max. So after what seemed to be an hour, she called me to say her bridesmaids wouldn't come at the time that she said they would come because they were supposed to have a rehearsal at 19. So she has to pick me up so that we go to her place and I would do their hair from there once their rehearsal is done. Bear in mind, this is not a request. She's telling me my bridesmaids have a rehearsal at 19. I don't know what time they'll be done, so I'm going to come pick you up. You're going to do their hair from my place because I have, I think, a genset or something, so power doesn't go that side. I tell her to say, I'm working with other clients as well. I can't leave my station, and that was not the prior agreement. So they either had to come now or it wouldn't work at all. I was working on 4 people, so that needed some good time. So her response is fine. So I don't know what fine means, if they're going to come or not. I keep quiet because at this point, this appointment is draining me. We've been talking about it for well over 5 days, like going back and forth on certain things. When she says fine, I choose to just sit back and wait. If she shows up, she shows up. If not, still good. A few minutes later, she calls me back. She says her bridesmaids are on their way. She's coming to drop them. So at this point, I'm just like, okay. At this point, I was just saying, okay, because I was really getting tired as well. So I start waiting for her bridesmaids. They show up, and one of them still has her hair braided in cornrows. This is 19 to 20 at this point. So the 4 bridesmaids that I'm expecting finally show up. I think, yeah, they showed up and there were the 4 of them. So one still had her hair braided in cornrows. She starts to remove them immediately, which I have no problem with. Then while I was at the gate, like opening for them to come in, one of them asks me if she can see my work. I have no problem with it. So I gave her the details for my page so that she could go through it and see what was there. After that, I just saw her calling the bride to say, is this the same girl who's going to do our hair? So I'm like, I was just a bit shocked because why are you here if you don't know if you're here to do your hair? Yeah. So a few minutes later, while on that call, the bride tells them, no, it's only the two girls getting their hair done. Bear in mind, I was told the bridesmaids are 4 and I'm doing hair for all 4. At this point, I've stocked up hair and products for all 4 bridesmaids. But then I'm being told it's only the 2. One was the sister's bride actually, but she was also a bridesmaid. So the sister's bride and the lady who asked me to see my work are not doing their hair with me apparently. So at that point, I was really fed up. I wasn't saying much. I told them, okay, cool, come in. They came in. I started working on the other bridesmaids. I don't want to go into details of how this went, but it was chaotic as well. They were good people, let me say that. They weren't problematic or anything, but they had their own unique personalities. Yeah, just like every other client. They settled down, I'm about to start doing their hair, and then they show me a hairstyle. So this hairstyle is a short ponytail, the one with a blunt cut, and it has a side swoop. Initially, that's not what the bride told me. So I told them, the bride showed me that you're doing this hairstyle. I showed them my previous work of the hairstyle that the bride had requested. Then they said, we didn't even know she had booked an appointment for us. We're actually on our way to install wigs at another salon. We actually have an appointment right now somewhere else. So our yango has just been redirected by her saying we have to go elsewhere for our hair. This is where we are now, but this is the hairstyle we want. So I was like, okay, cool, I can improvise the hair I have, it will look just fine. I start with the hair appointment. The lady that I start with says she doesn't want to perm her hair. So I explained to say a side swoop is very difficult to do with natural hair. Those that do hair can relate. So I tell her that, she says, okay, you can perm the sides but not the middle. If we're going to do a swoop, the middle is equally as important as the sides, because the swoop is going to come from the middle part of your hair going to the sides. So we start working with her, and unfortunately her swoop didn't swoop. Like, it just wasn't looking as good as the other girl's hair, because again, she didn't want to perm it. I couldn't force a client to do what they don't want to their hair. And for me, it's not a must that you perm your hair, but I'll correctly advise you to say your hair will look like this if you do perm it and if you don't. And there are certain hairstyles that can still work without you perming your hair. I tried to advise, but she was hell-bent on doing that hairstyle. It didn't come out right. I couldn't do anything. The swoop wasn't going well, but her friend's hair came out perfect and she was happy. Mid-appointment of me doing the 2 girls' hair, bear in mind the other 2 are also here, so I have 4 people in my work studio. 2 are getting their hair done, 2 are just waiting. So they were waiting for the bride to come and pick them up. When picking them up, the bride said she would come pick up the robes as well. So I mentioned to say you needed your ID. So when she got there, she didn't have her ID. So she told me, no, since you're coming to do my makeup tomorrow, you can come and get the ID at home. So I was like, okay, that's still fine, because I was supposed to follow her that day for her appointment. That was early morning. Her wedding was supposed to start at 14. So when she got home, remember she booked for hair and makeup. When she got home to pick up the robes, I noticed her hair was done. She didn't tell me anything that she was getting her hair done, or she didn't say anything anyway. So when I noticed her hair, when she was about to leave, I decided to say something, because I didn't want to show up for an appointment and find someone else working, because at this point it was seeming like she already had someone else to do her services. So I asked her, oh, I've noticed you already have your hair done. Am I still coming for your makeup, or you have someone else? So she goes like, oh yeah, I did my hair, you can just come do my makeup tomorrow. Honestly, I was shocked, and at this point, this was a waste of time, because I had rejected other clients. I work on appointment basis, so if you tell me I'm doing your hair, probably there's someone else who I had to let down. I didn't want to argue or anything. I just said, oh, okay, because also there were other clients. But at this point, I wasn't already happy with how everything was going and how everything was being handled. I felt my time was not being respected at all. So she picks up her stuff. After she leaves, after maybe what seemed like an hour, I'm not sure, because I wasn't checking my time. At this point, I was working on the 2 bridesmaids. She calls me to tell me, you're actually doing my bridesmaids' makeup as well, because their makeup artist let them down. So I was like, this is very late. At this point, I think it's like 22 or maybe 23. I don't remember. So I was like, this is very late. I have other appointments, of which I did that day in the morning before hers, because remember her wedding was at 14. So I had good time between her appointment and my other appointments that I had booked in the morning. So I told her, this is very late. I don't promise to do your bridesmaids makeup. I will try, but I have other people. So she says, okay, that's fine. On the day of the event, I was waiting for her to send the location. I texted her, sent her messages. She never responded. So I had the number for one of the bridesmaids whose hair I did. I asked her, can you send me the location? And then she was like, oh, actually, this person here has already booked another makeup artist. I was very shocked. I didn't show up either because what am I going to do? The makeup artist had already been booked. So I told her I need the documents for ID. So after her cousin told me she had booked with someone else, I said, okay, fine. Because at this point, honestly, even I wasn't willing to do the appointment anymore because I felt disrespected. I don't know if it's the fact that I didn't acknowledge her as a celebrity when I first saw her. I treated her like how I would treat any other client. I just said, hi, hello. And we went about the business. So I don't know if that's what offended her or if it was the fact that when I was about to cancel her appointment, rather, I called her fiancé. I don't know what it is. So when her cousin told me she had found someone else, I was just like, oh, okay. And then I told the cousin, kindly tell her that I need her ID, a form of identification. So I hear her in the background say, Uyona Ngoyo, tell her to come and get it if she wants it. So in English, that means that girl also, tell her to come and get the ID if she wants it. So her cousin responds to her, oh, this is happening while I'm on a call with her. I suspect I was on loudspeaker because while I was talking to her cousin, she responded as well. So her cousin tells her, she can't come this far. This place is far. You were supposed to give her your ID. And then she tells her, you know what, I'm busy. I'm doing my makeup. That's what she responds. And I know she's hearing me because at this point, I'm also responding. Then she's responding to what I'm saying. So I just said, you know what, I don't like how you're doing business. This is not how we do business with people. That's all I said. And the call cut. She didn't say anything. In the morning, that was Sunday, she was supposed to return the robes. So before she returned the robes, I get a message Saturday night, like very late at night, saying, you told my cousin I didn't pay for the robes. A little backstory again. After I saw her behavior, I was worried that maybe I might even lose my robes. They might not be returned or something. So I told her cousin to help take care of my robes for me. Like she should see them for me. If possible, she should be the one to return them because I didn't like how the bride was behaving. And I thought maybe she wouldn't even return them or they would lose the robes. So just something would go on with them. So I told the sister or the cousin to take care of them for me. So she said, no, don't worry, I'll take care of them. So at night, I received a message saying, you said I didn't pay you for the robes. Why would you do that? Do you think I would do that anyway? I'm going to return your robes tomorrow. So I take a screenshot of that. I send it to her cousin and tell her, at what point did I tell you that your cousin didn't pay for the robes? So the cousin gets shocked and said, what are you talking about? So I was like, your cousin has just sent me a message saying that I told you that she didn't pay for the robes. So she goes like, honestly, I don't know why my cousin is behaving like this. I don't know if it's stress from the whole wedding thing, but I didn't say that, and she's been treating us really badly as well. We apologize on her behalf. She's had a bad, reception with all of us. We really apologize for what's going on. So I send that message back to the bride. She doesn't respond to it. So here are a few other details I forgot to add. On the day of her bringing back the robes, she informed me that the rope for one robe had gone missing. So I told her if anything goes missing according to our contract, it had to be replaced by the client. This means either buying the item altogether, that's if it was rented out, or it means she replaces that item. But then when you're buying robes, they don't sell robes separately. So it meant the whole robe had to be replaced. So I told her, no, since you've lost it, it means you have to buy the robe. Don't bring it at all, just buy it. So I told her the price for buying the robe, which was $420. We had agreed this before. Hiring was 80 kwacha, but buying the robe is $420. I told her, then she goes like, no, I received a voice note from her sister. Hey, you or whoever you call yourself, how can a rope be 420 just for a rope? It's fine anyway. The girl who went to Kafue today went with the rope. So we'll just bring the robes that we have today and then tomorrow we'll bring the other robe. So I was like, no, that's not how I operate. The contract clearly says that if you lose anything, you have to bring it. And I can't agree that you bring some stuff today and then bring other stuff on another day. What if you don't come back at all? So I told them, if that robe shows up, you keep it, but for now you pay me my money for this robe that you have lost. So I contact the cousin contacts me. The cousin who I sent those screenshots to contacts me and says, apparently there's a robe missing. So she tells me, no, the bride told me to wash the robe that I wore, meaning that she wore. So I was like, the contract clearly says that you're not supposed to wash anything. You get the robes washed, laundered and everything, you return them as they are. I'll do the laundry because these things should be handled in a specific way. So I have a specific laundry I take all my things to. So I don't know why she told that bridesmaids to wash her stuff. I don't know why. So while they hung them outside, one went missing. So that cousin of hers told me it's not a rope that's missing, it's the entire robe that's missing. So them saying it's a rope that's missing, I don't know. So I told her, you have to bring everything back. And then she goes like, fine. Fine, I don't care, I'll bring it. So I was just like, okay, cool, because for me that's business. There are certain things I can't compromise on, especially what's on my contract. You signed for a reason. Yeah. And then another thing that I forgot to fill you guys in on was, when I finished the bridesmaid's hair, I asked her to send the money because there was a balance that was left. So I asked her to send the money, and then she responds to the bridesmaids because she was on loudspeaker, but the bridesmaid's phone while we're still together at the bridesmaids, the night of their hairstyling. Then she tells me, "Uyona nkoyo ela shupa. Na ishwa taresa kuno mairo mpya kashisanga." So that means that girl also shouldn't be difficult. She's coming here tomorrow, so she'll find her money. She brings the robes anyway. That's like the following day. That was around 14 or so. So when she brings the robes, I make mention to say I didn't like how business was being handled. I found it to be very mean. Like, I found you to be a bit mean, that you didn't acknowledge my time very well. The day you stood me up, you didn't apologize for it. You got upset with me for calling your fiancé, of which I apologize. I know some people don't like that, but personally, I thought it was my last resort before cancelling on her, or rather just not showing up at all on the day of the event. So I tell her that, and then she goes like, I also have a complaint. The other girl's hair didn't look good. So I tell her, did you ask the girl why her hair didn't look good? Because I explained to her why her hair didn't look like the other bridesmaids' hair. And she says, no, she didn't tell me anything. So I was like, no, she didn't sit in the dryer for long. Oh yeah, there was also that she didn't want to sit in the dryer for long. She claimed she was feeling very hot. And also she didn't want to perm her hair. And you can't do a swoop without permed hair. Other styles can work, but a swoop would be very difficult if your hair is not permed. I told her that. And then she was just like, oh, okay. So after that, I was like, no, this is not how you treat people. Please act better next time. I didn't like how I was treated. And then she was like, I'm not here to argue with you. It's fine. So she left after that. I still didn't say anything. From that time, we haven't talked. I haven't gotten back to her. We haven't said anything to each other. And also, just to add on, her bridesmaids also complained bitterly about her when we were home together, when I was doing their hair. They complained how she wasn't respecting them. She talked to them in a very rude way. Because I remember at some point they were trying to book a yango to go back home once I was done with their hair. She kept on calling them like, hey, have you failed to book a yango? Why are you still not here? Like, commanding them. So they complained about all those things. So overall, I don't know who the problem was. If it were you, what would you do, honestly? Would you have reached out to the fiancé? Because she listed him as the next of kin on the contract. Bear in mind. Or should I just not have called anyone and just not have shown up? And also, is it right that she booked someone else on the day of and she stood me up? Because I told her I wouldn't manage for her bridesmaids, but hers was still on schedule. So I would do her makeup. When there's time, I would do her bridesmaids' makeup. So was it right that she booked someone else altogether and didn't communicate with me? Please tell me. So this whole thing, I felt like she was treating me more like sub-minimal or very badly, because maybe she felt she's got this name, she's a celebrity, she can treat people however she wants, or I don't know if that's just how she behaves generally. This booking was really the worst.
I'm failing to talk now.
The strength has gone.
The stress has gone.
Yes.
I'm failing to talk now. Good night.
We are going for a dinner.
This client booked me to do her hair for her wedding and stole my content phone. Storytime. She booked a month before her event. She told me she really loved my work and she saw it on Facebook and she wanted me to work with her on her wedding. However, she already had a makeup artist. She only wanted me to do her hair. So I agreed. She sent the style inspo. We're talking on WhatsApp. So I saved her under the name that came on her WhatsApp profile. Like when you send a message to someone, there's that name that you save yourself as on WhatsApp. It was the name I saved her under. So a week before her wedding, she texted me saying, I hope you haven't forgotten. I hope my appointment is still on. I'll be coming the day before my wedding because my wedding will be at 8. So I needed my hair to be done the previous day so that the following day I won't be late for my event. So I said, yeah, I haven't forgotten your booking. Please do come through the day before your wedding. That was supposed to be, I think it was a Friday because her wedding was on a Saturday. So she was supposed to come on a Friday. I told her she could come at 14 because before 14 I was working with someone else. This was before load shedding. So I gave her the location for my salon. She told me to send her my live location. So which I did. She came directly to my salon. No directions were needed. So the name I saved her under, let's say, was Mary. Mary is the name that appeared on her WhatsApp the first time she texted me. So when a client texts me, I save them under the name that's on their WhatsApp because I assume that's their name. So that's the name I saved her as. When she arrived, she called me to say, please come pick me up. I'm by your gate. So I went to the gate and I found that it was my boyfriend's ex. So when I see her, I try to act as professional as possible because she's just a client like everyone else. But what was shocking to me is she has never liked me because me and my boyfriend, her ex, started dating 2 weeks after they broke up. So my boyfriend broke up with her because she was cheating on him. So when we started dating, he told me they were done and he had no emotions attached to her because she had been cheating on him for a long time. So when I saw her, it was a bit weird because she had been sending me messages in the past, trolling me, that type of a thing, like just saying bad things about me. So when I saw her, it was a bit weird, but then I acted professional. So I said, hi, how are you? I let her in. So the biggest red flag is, why did she put a different name on her WhatsApp? Because her name, let's assume, is Clara. So when I see her, I say hi by her real names because I know her at this point. She's texted me before, not as a client, mind you. She's texted me before, like trolling me, telling me I got her boyfriend and all these other things. So I said, hi, Clara, and she knew my name. She called my name as well. She called me by my name. So we went inside and the appointment began. Everything was cool. We didn't say much to each other because it was weird. And I'm sure she knew that I knew her under a different name because when she called me for me to send her my live location and when she called me to say she had arrived, I said, like, you know how you answer a phone, like, hi, Clara. And then she goes like, hi, I'm at the gate. So it was weird because now that I saw her, I was calling her by her real name, Clara. So when her appointment starts, it's just me and her, no other people at the shop. We start working, we're not saying much to each other. It's actually a bit awkward. She shows me the hairstyle she wanted, which is the same one that she had sent me the month that she booked her appointment. So we start working, everything is fine, we're not saying anything to each other because again, it's weird. Other clients start walking in and my other assistant starts working on my other clients. So as the appointment is progressing, I'm more conversational with my other clients because for her it was just a bit weird. And she was also quiet the whole time. She was just on her phone. So I minded my own business. So did she. Because why would you book me? I'm dating your ex and you have been trolling me all along. So I just ignored it, tried to act as professional as possible. So as the appointment goes on, she asks me to say, is it okay if I can go pick up my bouquet that I'm going to use tomorrow for my wedding? The Yango driver has brought it. It's outside. So I go like, oh yeah, that's fine. You can come back when you're done with the Yango driver. So she goes. She told me she would take a few minutes because again, the Yango driver is just outside. So while she's gone, I start to work on my other clients to help my assistant so that work moves faster. So the game plan was when she returns, I would continue with her appointment because she was the first client. So ideally, if a lot of people are at the salon at the same time, I'll work according to who's first. I'll be working on who came first. My assistant will be working in the same lane. Whoever came first after the person I'm working on, my assistant will start attending to them. So I thought, since other people are just waiting in line, let me start working on the other people. So I'm giving you that specific detail because she made mention to say she didn't want anyone else to work on her except me. that was when she booked me as Mary, not Clara. So I just wanted to help my assistant push the queue faster for people that wanted their hair done. But when she came back, I promised that I would do her hair. So she left when her hair had just dried up. When she had just left the dry, she told me, let me quickly rush and pick up my bouquet that I'm using tomorrow. Because again, she said her wedding is in the morning, so she was doing everything that day, but only her makeup was supposed to be done the previous day. So I was like, oh yeah, that's cool. So I'm waiting. It's like 20 minutes later, she's not coming. So I sent my assistant to go outside and check if she's still there. Maybe she's having problems with the Yango driver, or maybe he didn't arrive. She's trying to give him the directions, or just something that has gone wrong. So my assistant goes outside. She's not there. I tried to call her. Her phone is off, and she's nowhere to be seen. At this point, I'm worried. Like, has something happened to her? Because she says she's just stepping out. She's going outside the gate. So after waiting what seemed like an hour, I decided to just, ignore it and continue with my other clients. Because my assumption was, brides are busy. Probably something came up. She'll come back. Or maybe her phone had gone off while she went to do another errand. She'll come back because her hair was already out of the dryer at that point. So what was left is the hair attachment and everything else. So at this point, it's not